What up, everyone? Doing the podcast today, Sunday, November 26, 2023, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Marcel time, is it 4 p.m. your time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so appreciate you guys joining us early today. Just wanted to get out of the way this week. I got a busy week, so I just wanted to get out of the way. Oh, of course, Marcel, appreciate you joining me short notice here, man. Hopefully get some people in the chat. If not, the replay's always there. I don't think our boy Glenn's going to be here today, which sucks because he's always the first guy, to listen in on the chat. But hopefully, Glenn, you can listen to the replay. But I know we got our boy Joe because he messaged us already on Twitter and said he's going to be here. So hopefully get some of the regulars in the chat today, Marcel. But either way, going to recap PFL World Championship 2023 in the first podcast. And then once that's done, and I think we'll probably go for about like 30 minutes for that. And then we'll go for, probably a full hour on UFC Austin. I think we've got 13 fights to cover. So a lot of fights. We got Octagon Updates, another regular. He's in the chat as well. So if you guys are in the chat, just let us know and we'll give you guys a shout. Marcel, what's up, brother?
Yeah, man, all good. Not as a busy week as normally with UFC event, right? But we had PFL. I watched Cage Warriors last night, so still some MMA.
How was Cage Warriors? I didn't check it out. How was it?
Yeah, it was okay. Like 2 decisions in the title fight, but the title fights were fun to watch. So, and one Dutch guy won, which is good. Wasn't a prelim, by the way. It's always good when I see Dutch guy win because we don't have too many Dutch fighters at like big stages right now. So it's good for him. I mean, what was an okay card? I think it was. It's a typical. Listen, Cage Warriors has always like fun fights. You got like they have like a lot of English talent, obviously, and Irish talent like that, but also like international talent. So, and sometimes when they go to the UFC, they do well, but sometimes it's also like, maybe they weren't as good as we thought, But it's like a 50-50 thing.
Fair enough. Daniel wants to talk about the Ian Gary situation. Well, good morning to you. I guess we can get into it really quick before we do the PFL thing. It is the kind of the trending topic right now with Ian Gary and Sean Strickland. I know Chris Curtis now has deleted his Twitter or X or whatever they want to call it, X account. I mean, the whole situation is kind of odd, obviously. I mean, listen, I don't want to say too much because the truth is, Marcel, like, I do think, you're an adult, you can make your own decisions in life, but I mean, it's kind of odd. Like, I mean, Layla, I don't have an issue with her at all. I've never had bad interaction with her personally. We follow each other on Twitter. No issue with her. She used to be Cage Warriors like presenter, so that's kind of where I knew her from. And then all of a sudden, she's dating Ian Gary, right? I think what people find odd is obviously that she wrote this book about how to like pick up like young athletes. Like, and I don't even want to call it a book. It's 11 pages. Like, it's not really even a book. It kind of puts a book to shame. I just heard about this whatever you want to call it literature this week. I think where most people did too. That whole screenshot came out of the ebook. I think it's on Amazon. And then of course, now there's all this chatter about Ian and the fact he's 25 and his wife's 40, and the fact that, or not the fact, I don't even know if this is true because she's denying it, but there's these rumors that like her ex-husband lives with them and he's Ian's nutritionist, but she's has a video last night on Instagram saying this is not true. So I don't know about that part of it, but I think in the end of the day, like, people are nosy, right? So they want to get involved in other people's businesses. And now they're threatening to sue, I think, Sean Strickland because of his tweets, and Red Pill MMA, I think that's the guy's name. And then what's the other guy? MMA Guru. All these guys that are like YouTubers are talking about it. The truth is, like, I don't know enough about what's going on to like even comment really, Marcel. Just from what I've seen though, it's kind of entertaining to watch on the outside looking in, But the thing with her manual, I guess you want to call it a manual on how to pick up young like athletes, and then the fact that it's actually like turned out in real life is kind of funny to me. But again, from all like accounts, like Ian looks like he's happy with this woman, and I think they have a young, I think it's a son, right? They have a son together. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I mean, like I have a child with not say older, she's 4 years older than me, woman. And I don't think that's the part that is like the weird part, because I think that's common, but it is a 15-year age gap. It's just the other things that everyone's talking about, the book with the husband allegedly living with them. I don't know enough about it. you have any thoughts? I don't want to get in trouble here either. Like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I don't know nothing about this, guys.
I mean, if you ask me if I know what a whack was, yeah, it was pretty big.
I knew what that was.
When with the World Cup, and she's right what she said. It was at the World Cup back then, because I know back then that's when I found out about the word as well. So she didn't lie there, you know. I don't know. It's difficult, you know. It's like, on the other hand, I'm like, it's not my business. But the thing is, like, listen, man, people are gonna find something about Ian Gary to annoy him because he's been fucking annoying, man, to a lot of people, you know. So people going after him for whatever they can, you know. It's just the way it is, you know. And if it's right, listen, man, I'm not the gossip journalist or the gossip media guy who goes after people or likes to make content about it. Yeah, we talk about it off the record, of course, you know, with other people, and for example, in the Discord or in the app group or whatever, you know. But I'm not somebody who's going to post about it. And Layla has been, if I interacted with her, she's always been nice, so I don't feel like the urge to be annoying. And I've never interacted with Ian, so I don't feel like I have to be annoying against him. Do I like how Ian acts around fight week and that kind of against other people? No, I don't really like what he did to Magny, for example. I didn't like that, but hey, man, that's none of my business, you know. Also, the Luke, the comment under the video where Luke was baptized, I think, I thought it was kind of a bad taste, you know. But hey, whatever, you do what you want, you know. I don't care. But it's like, if you do those kind of stuff, you know, and people find the smallest things to go after you, they will come after you because you try to be like the tough guy. And listen, man, I hope some pieces I read from what Layla wrote, you know, I hope it's a little bit sarcastic, because if that shit's true, like, he's coming inside a cafe and he's looking to who he can beat everyone and that kind of stuff, you know, really weird, you know. I hope there's a little bit of sarcasm in that, you know, or just a little bit of joking in that. But I mean, at the same time, I don't really care. You know, he'll fight against Vicente Luque. We'll see what's going on. Do I really think this gets to him? I don't know, man. We'll see. You know, we'll see. But it's like, yeah. I mean, I think we both have too less of an information to get really an opinion about
Pretty
it.
much.
So,
I was going to say, like, James Lynch did a good video on this yesterday, and we talked about that a little bit, what you were saying there at the end. We got some comments here. We got Craig. What's up, brother? Glad to have you here. Daniel, hope you're ready for the lawsuit. Yeah, I mean, allegedly, I think she said she filed a lawsuit against one of those YouTube guys that talked about it. So again, I don't want to be part of that lawsuit. I don't think we say anything wrong.
We didn't say anything bad. Yeah,
we just talked the facts today. That's all. Again, allegedly, that's the word that always save your ass. I learned that in the first day of journalism school.
And it's not our headline of this podcast. So
not at all. Brain doesn't finish developing to your 25. You got played out hard. Well, homie got robbed out of this cradle. I mean, a lot of people are saying that. So yeah, no comment from me. Sorry, Adam, you're getting taken advantage of by Cougar. No. Maybe I got taken advantage, possibly, but that was over a long time ago. Still figuring it out. I can't talk about my thing either, because, you know, Marcel, we got that court thing coming up where I'm trying to get more time with my daughter. I think that's what I'm trying to do, boys. But I don't want to talk about it until it happens, you know. Rather not mix work and personal right now. Ian's a solid fighter. His life decision-making skills are well average. Again, you know, this thing with the Jeff Neal, I know James talked about that.
But that's the thing as well, you know. Ian is a good fighter. Let's put that at first. He's a good fighter.
Oh, yeah.
But the persona he's trying to create is really cringy to me, you know. It's something not I like, you know. I know some people do, but there are a lot of people who also don't like it, you know. And the way he acts to Jeff Neal, then he acts to Neil Magny. Dude is talented as fuck, in my opinion. You know, doesn't need that kind of shit, you know. And then it's like, people are like, yeah, they comparing him to Conor McGregor. Dude, he compared himself to Conor McGregor, you know. And now people are taking that over, and as people is like, yeah, but why you comparing him to Conor McGregor? He's from Ireland. He wants to be compared to him, you know. I mean, be your own fighter, you know. You have all the talent. You don't need that bullshit, in my opinion, you know. I always thought he was a talented fighter in Cage Warriors, you know. And also, like, listen, I don't say he's a bad guy. I have no idea, but it's kind of odd when you get kicked out your team back then in Ireland, you know, and then you cannot come back at Leon's team at Renegade, you know. I mean, and I think also Veronica Hardy, said something about it on the MMA Hour, right? So
I didn't see. I know she was on the show, but I don't watch the show anymore. So, anyways, Pato, what's up, brother? Yeah, we'll talk about PFL now. Might as well get into it. But yeah, these guys you're talking about Luque. I mean, I think Luque's got a chance to win for sure. He's more experienced, obviously. Gary, like, they're building up slowly. He's looked good, but I don't know, man. I didn't like the fact he didn't finish Magny in that fight. That to me is like not a great look, but he's definitely a good fighter. I mean, regardless of the persona, guys, the guy is 6-0 in the UFC. That's a nice record. He's continually moving up the ladder slowly. He's only 25, like Marcel said. Like we've all said in this chat. We're making sure you tell he's 25.
It actually scared that Magny fight. I know many people saying he didn't finish him, but I had the feeling that he didn't want to finish.
Try to punish him a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that is what my feeling was there, and that annoyed me even more. So can I really take away something from that fight? I'm not sure, but we'll see. I mean, I think Vicente is also his former training partner, right? Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. All right, I say that's enough about Mr. Gary. I don't even want to talk to the Johnny Walker situation because that we don't know enough about that. Is there anything you want to say about that, or is that one of those?
Allegedly.
Yeah, just allegedly. I don't know, guys. If you want, you can go look it up on Twitter or on X, I guess. Johnny Walker, see what's going on with him. There's a guy in the NBA. I don't know if you follow basketball. There's this basketball player, Josh Giddey. He's kind of I don't know if you saw that. He's been accused of some misconduct allegedly with an underage woman. So I mean, it's not just. I don't know about this thing with Walker though. It looks like it could be a fake thing, but yeah, it's worth checking out. It's kind of funny. Anyways, I say let's get into the PFL preview, Marcel, or sorry, the recap. So this was the last PFL card of the year, and the first one or the last one before the first one starts with Bellator coming up next year. So I'm looking forward to that next card though that they've talked about now. They've teased with the champion versus champion. That should be really good. Let's get through this card, Marcel, if it's cool. Main event, obviously we had Olivier Aubin-Mercier defeating Clay Collard. Pretty competitive fight. But OBM, I had him up 3-1 heading in the fifth. And I'm looking at the live odds; it was only -130. So I mean, if you got the live odds after round one, I thought it was pretty clear he was up 3-1. I know Randy Couture thought that somehow Clay Collard won this fight. I don't really agree with that, but I guess the damage versus control argument. I just think there was just so much control and so much grappling. It's really hard to ignore it, in my opinion, because again, it is MMA, and I don't like that new kind of style of judging where you're ignoring the grappling completely. So to me, he won the fight. It wasn't his most impressive performance, but 10th straight win in PFL. Really impressive run for him, man. 10-0 in PFL. I mean, that's fucking incredible. Canadian guy. I mean, I remember obviously him from Ultimate Fighter way back in the day. He's crazy. He lost to Chad Laprice, and now 10 years later, he's a millionaire. Yeah, I mean, I obviously know Olivier for many years. I'm fighting in the Canadian regional scene. He's a longtime veteran of the sport. A guy that was kind of average in the UFC, and man, he won $2 million in PFL and 2 championships, and it looks like he's going to retire though. That's kind of what he's leaning towards, I think. But I don't blame him. 34 years old. It's not that old, but he does. I think he said he has a young child and he wants to spend more time with them. And when you have that, I know it's not that much money, $2 million, but for a fighter, it's a lot of money. And to a guy like me or you, Marcel, it's a lot of money. So yeah, I mean, eventually he'll probably have to do something else like coaching or something like that, or analysis, something like that, just to pay the bills. But for now, he can relax and live his life, I think. So, man. Awesome run for OAM. Anything you want to talk about?
I mean, dude made $2 million in 2 years.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty great. I think. I always thought Olivier Aubin-Mercier was talented. Even in the UFC already, Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, I mean, he did great in PFL, and he has a difficult style for many people to fight. The ground game is really good. I think his stand up it's becoming a lot better in PFL as well than it was in the UFC.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for the dude. If he wants to retire, I mean, all blessings to him. 2 times winner of the tournament, $2 million in 2 years. I mean, if you're smart with your money, you would be good. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, good for him. And he wants to spend time more with his family. How can you be against that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So, and Clay Collard, I think, is a guy they'll bring back. I know they're going to do a lot of turnover. I was watching that interview with Ray Sefo. I think Chris Wade, for instance, I think he's gone because he really pissed off Ray Sefo apparently by missing weight. That fight with Bubba Jenkins getting canceled. I'd imagine Bubba, he'll get back. They're both at lightweight, right? I'm pretty sure, or they're featherweight in PFL. I can't remember now, but now I can't remember. I think are they feathers? Yeah. So anyways, yeah, they're feathers. But the point is, like, there's going to be roster turnover, obviously, with Bellator coming in. So I think a lot of these guys that were in like this year's tournament, some of the guys that you've seen in the last couple of years, like, I think they'll be kind of pulled out, and then new guys come in. That's my guess. But I do think Collard will stick around because he's exciting. So regardless, I think he'll stick around. How do you think of rematch between Oye and Armin plays out? I think Armin wins, but that's because I'm so high on Armin. But I was thinking about this, like Armin beat him. And Armin's probably fighting for, I don't know how much he makes the UFC, like 100K maybe a fight. I don't know. Yeah. But he's not making $1 million, right? There's no way. So it's funny how it played out. Like, and I remember when PFL was doing these tournaments and guys were leaving the UFC, like Shane Burgos, even Marcel, even before that, there was guys leaving PFL to go to, or excuse me, UFC or PFL. Like, I thought this is a good opportunity for these middle level fighters, right? Like the mid-level guys can really make a buck here if they win the tournament. Now you even had, Impa and some other guys that won. So, Owen used to go to fight a Canadian pay-per-view. I mean, it'd be great if they could bring him back to the UFC, but he's not coming back to the UFC to fight for 20 and 20 or whatever he would make. Or not, it wouldn't be 20 and 20, it'd be 50 and 50 probably, but he's not going to do it. Gregor should go to PFL. I mean, that would be a great move. I don't know where the hell he is, man. He kind of like fell out of place completely. What's up, Barry? PFL's MMA's the future of MMA. It could be. It's a good competitor. I do like that we have 1 to 2 because again, I think MMA at its best, it's a good thing to talk about. It's just when we had Pride and the UFC, when we had the UFC and Strikeforce, right? Like I think it's great when there's two. Even like I don't watch wrestling anymore, but when they had WCW and WWF at the time, that's when I think wrestling was the best. Marcel? Like when you have two of these, like two big promotions that are constantly, trying to, sign the best fighters. See, the thing is, the UFC is just such a well-oiled machine; they don't have to anymore. But yeah, I mean, again, it's UFC versus basically PFL / Bellator now, so it's interesting. I do agree the pacing is terrible in PFL though. Like that card felt like it took fucking forever. When you have 6 5-round fights, it will happen, right? Yeah, OEM. Oh, yeah, he won the fight for sure. I had it 3-1. I think all 3 judges actually had 4-1. So, anyways, co-main event, we did have an upset here. Renan Ferreira defeats Denis Goltsov, second round knockout. Big knockout here, Marcel, for Ferreira. I always thought he was pretty dangerous. After he beat, was it Verdum? I think it was. I'm like, damn, this guy's not bad. Like, of course that got overturned, right? But, I'm a dumbass. Verdum, did Verdum beat him? I can't remember now. But
no, Renan beat him and that got overturned. I think with illegal strike.
That's right, but they said that he tapped earlier or something, right? And they missed it. I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that's what happened. So I kind of put him on my radar, after that. And then he's had like an up and down run in PFL. He actually has 3 no contests. It's kind of crazy, 3 no contests. That's wild. But man, a lot of knockout power, and then gets the win. Anything you want to talk about quickly on this one?
I mean, yeah, it was a surprising outcome. I think I think Goltsov pretty good, and he got knocked out by Renan Ferreira. Yeah, I'm already looking at like the Bellator champs against the PFL champs. What we're going to see, like Renan against Bader, for example. To be really honest, I only favor one PFL champion over all the Bellator champions, man. So yeah.
Who's that? Edwin?
Magomed Karimov over Jackson. And that's
sorry. Yeah. No, they don't. I thought you meant to UFC. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that one too. I have to look into it a little bit more, but for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Like a lot of people are saying, like these guys can go and beat the UFC champs. Some of them, like the Bellator guys too. I don't know. I think again,
Patchy Mix maybe or Johnny Eblin. Yeah,
it's great. And so is Eblin. That's why I mentioned it. But like again, I just think the UFC level competition is like tougher. At the top end. All right. As far as we didn't really talk about it yet, but yeah. Aubin-Mercier, I guess, would be he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to fight again. Okay, so what I think will happen is they'll just do that Shabli and Magomedov fight on the champion card. I think it actually kind of works out well in that way. They just end up doing that fight for the championship, Marcel. I think that'll happen. So Bader's going to fight Ferreira. Who wins that fight?
I don't know, man. Might still pick Bader, but I'm not sure.
I would lean him because the experience, the wrestling, but again, he could get knocked out, right? Ferreira's got a lot of power, man. I would favor Bader a little bit in that fight, guys, but Ferreira definitely can knock you out. But again, I think the first round of this fight was Goltsov taking him down, controlling him, right? I would imagine Bader can do that for 5 rounds, not tired.
Yeah.
His cardio is really base. His conditioning is ridiculous for a guy I think he's 40 or 41 Bader, but great conditioning still. Larissa Pacheco defeats Marina Moknoktina. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think I've been mispronouncing it on the podcast. My apologies, but man, this was a tough last name. Anyways, Larissa looked good, but yeah, Marina was very tough, and Sergey Spivak, her new husband's in her corner. I think you said she used to be married to that Mikhail
Moknatkin. I don't know why she still has his name.
I thought she'd be Marina Spivak now, or Spivaka, right? I think that's how you say it. Yeah, no, I mean, it looks like this girl's improved, but again, Larissa is super dangerous. She wins $2 million too. Yeah, I mean, I remember her from UFC, and I remember when she fought Jermaine Durand. I'm like, and she had come off some wins in what's it called? I think it was Jungle Fight, right? She beat Rena Aldana, and I thought, man, this girl's really, really talented. And I remember I picked her against Jermaine, and she got destroyed. I think that was the Hendricks Lawler card, I think, or something like that. But she got absolutely smoked in that card. And yeah, I mean, now she's bounced back really nicely. She wins $2 million. She's gonna fight Cyborg. Yeah. Well, that's the rumor. Cyborg saying she hasn't been contacted by Bellator or PFL yet, I should say.
I think Cyborg still wants to fight Liam McCord.
Sure. Yeah, they want to do that fight. I think Cyborg beats Larissa though. I still think Cyborg's like one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and listen, man, I don't want to put any accusations or whatever, but dude, Larissa looks really different when she was physical in the UFC than she looks now in PFL. It's almost like other person, But
wink, wink.
Yeah, but I'll definitely Cyborg over Pacheco, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, me too. I mean, Larissa, like, this wasn't her best performance. Like, she won clearly, but she got taken down a lot. I think Cyborg can out-grapple her, even if she's getting stuck on her feet. She could out-grapple her, right? That's the thing. Anyways, Magomed Karamov defeats Sadowski, guillotine choke. Yeah, I mean, both called him here to win. Guy's really good. He's a $2 million winner as well. He won the first season, I think, or the second season, right? Didn't he?
I think the second or third, yeah.
Let me double check. He won.
I think the first season was won by Louis Taylor, right?
I think what happened was he pulled out or something. Yeah, he was supposed to fight Ray Cooper.
Yeah.
And then
he lost once to Ray Cooper, I think, in the finale as well with knockout.
Actually, I don't think he won, or did he win last season? I can't remember now. Jesus,
I'm not sure.
No, I know. I'm so bad at this. I thought he had won one before. I guess I'm wrong, eh?
I think he won one before. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me check.
I'm so good. Did he win the first season? Hold on, I gotta check. We gotta check this guy.
Yeah, he won 2022 against Thibaut.
No. He won 2018. He won 2018. He won
22 as well.
That was just a prelim, though, wasn't it?
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's prelim.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Of course, that's a prelim.
No worries.
Yeah.
He won in 2018. Then he was going to win in 2019, and then he got sick because you have to fight twice back then in the last card. They're not doing that anymore, I don't think, right? So
and he lost in 21 against Ray Cooper by knockout, like you said.
Yeah, so he's been to the finals 4 times and won. Well, he pulled out once, and then he went 2-1. That's pretty good. I mean, and yeah. Anyways, let's go. Yeah, I like this too. What's up, Matthew? Anyone with Magomed, their last name too, wins in MMA. Like, let's be honest here. Like, they don't lose. He didn't win last year due to visa issues. That's right. He would have come back, right? Mago Millions. Yeah, it sure seems like it. He's good. Was that excuse me? Was that Ramazan Emeev in his corner? Is that one of his guys in his team? I thought I saw him.
Yeah, I think I saw him as well. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, but I think so.
He's retired, right? I think he might be, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, he's not in the UFC anymore, I think. But if he's retired, I don't know.
Yeah, but I thought I saw him. I'm like, oh, there's Ramazan. Anyways, Impa Kasangane defeats Josh Silveira. Man, how can you not be happy for this dude, man? Going from that brutal knockout loss to Joaquin Buckley, get on the opposite side of that, and then coming back a few years later and winning $1 million. Like, I wasn't sure about this move to 205. It's paid off though. Go ahead.
But let's be honest, we both said when the UFC cut him after 2-2 that they cut him too early. We didn't say he was going to be a champion, but they cut him too early,
Oh, easily. This was a weird cut because he lost to Harris and Buckley, who were pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, good for him.
Man. Yeah, I mean, 5-0 in PFL. He's on a 6-fight win streak right now. He's looking good, and I actually like this fight. I don't know what do you think of this fight. I thought this was like a pretty good fight, man. What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, man. But both are good fighters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Josh Silveira is a good fighter as well. Uh, I did. Did you see who was in Josh Silveira's corner? It was
I,
Conan. Oh,
I
it
was
was
gonna
his
tell
dad.
you. Did you know his dad was the founder of American
Yeah,
Top Team
last
and
week.
used to fight in the UFC? Did you know that, Marcel? You know they were actually because they did the like video package. I was gonna message you privately and be like, "Hey, Marcel, did you know his dad is going to Silveira?" No, but you know what? Josh Silveira. Like, he's not like amazing, but like man, he's a tough dude with a good chin. He comes from a lineage of MMA, so I like the guy. I think he'll be back next year. But yeah, Impa will you know look to defend it next year. I think they're going to be trying to sign some guys from 205, like from Bellator, or not sign them, bring them over. I think the PFL's tournament next year. Impa's supposed to fight Vadim Nemkov, right? Or is that not going to happen? Yeah,
Yeah, I like to see it. Many people were like, "Can Impact not cut to 185 and fight Johnny Eblen?" I like that fight honestly more, but I
they're
mean,
both good
he
fights.
already said he wants Nemkov, so yeah, why not? You
I
know.
would favor Nemkov though. I know Impa's look good, but I would still favor Nemkov is like
Mhm.
really good. He's underrated. Also, I would favor Magomedov over Jackson. But Jackson looked great again. Some of these fights are actually
Yes.
pretty interesting to me. You know.
The thing is, like, if you look at champion versus champion, I said I would pick Magomed Karimov over Jackson, but it's still a close fight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like I'm really confident. But if I have to pick a PFL champion over a Bellator champion, I might go Magomed Karimov. But it's not even how do you say that? I'm not even 100% sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree with this guy too. Like their 205 is light. Like it's called light heavyweight. It's pretty light though right now. Like they don't have a lot of talent in it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these guys have been fighting like in PFL forever, and they fought 3 or 4 tournaments now. Like I think you'll see some of them get released, and then new guys from Bellator brought in. And actually they could go back and forth. Like a guy like Denis Goltsov's been around forever, for instance, Marcel. Like maybe he'll
Yeah.
get another shot because he went to the finals, but like just in someone in that situation, maybe they could go over to Bellator instead and fight those cards. I don't really know what's going to happen. Nemkov winning heavyweight, I think that was the rumor, but again, like if they pay him enough, maybe he'll take this fight. I think he makes pretty good money too, actually. When Buckley knocked out Impa, they gave him $200,000 as a bonus. Did he really? That's good. But yeah, I mean, the UFC's probably made $1 million off that highlight alone, showing that highlight, Marcel. Who's PFL's matchmaker? I mean, that's the thing. They're like, oh, well, it's not matchmaking, but they still matchmake the quarterfinals, or not the quarterfinals, like the qualifying fights. I would imagine Ray Seth was part of that with some of the other guys, Don Davis, Peter Murray, those guys at the top. And there's probably someone else that we don't know who they are. I mean, is Ali Abdelaziz still involved? I don't know. Like he was obviously with that WSOF, Marcel.
The only thing I don't like about the matchmaking with PFL is that they, for example, the how do you say it, the regular season
Yeah, that's what I
fights.
was saying. The qualifying fights, yeah.
Yeah, they make those one the way they want it. You know,
Like
they
Shane
do.
Burgos.
Yeah, for example, listen, man, Shane, I'm good with Shane. They match up Shane with Olivier Aubin-Mercier in the first fight. You already know one of the two fighters are pretty much fucked. They have to probably get a finish in the second fight. So Olivier won, and then Shane had to fight Nishikawa, and they gave. I told Shane, I can't say it now. I told Shane they're gonna give you Nishikawa because they think you can beat him and you got to finish there. They want you in the semis, and he's like, let's see, and then he's like, yeah, I got Nishikawa. I said, yeah, I told you, and he won the
He didn't finish
decision.
him though.
No, he didn't finish him. But that's the thing, they try to how do I say that? Put it in the right direction where they want it, And I think they should do like regular season fights, make them do a draw, and do them at once.
I would love to see that. See, what I would do, guys, is like I would do a live stream and then have like a bucket with the balls inside, floating around, and then the guy reaches his hand in and he's like Olivier Aubin-Mercier, puts his hand back in, Clay Collard or something like that. Like I'd like to see like that. Go ahead.
Or you get, for example, you have a draw, you have 8 numbers in it,
Yeah.
and you pick number 1 to 8, and 1 goes standing there, 2, 3, 4.
I like that a lot better, actually.
Yeah.
That's really good. I love that. I love that. And this guy's right too. Like they do give some guys like softballs and other guys hard fights. Manfio, I don't think he's going to be back. Manfio and Schulte won't be back because that fight's been flagged on Tapology. You saw that, Marcel? They flagged it. I don't know if it was you who flagged it or someone else there.
No, I didn't.
It's been flagged for legitimacy because they didn't fight like hard to the like international standards of what an MMA fight is supposed to be. I'm not saying those guys threw the fight. No one threw it, but like we've seen that. We all saw that fight. They weren't trying to hurt each other, and that's why they pulled. Was it Schulte got pulled, right? And they put in obviously. Was it Shane get back in? I can't remember what happened now. Did Shane go back in and then he lost?
And he lost to Collard.
Collard,
great fight.
Yeah, it was. Manfield deserves justice. The guy, no justice. Oh yeah, no. He's a guy that I mean, come on. No one ever thought the guy would win $1 million. So I was driving home. I missed a couple of these like early fights in the main card. I didn't see the Harrison or Brunson fights. I know they both won. Did you watch the fights? I didn't see these two.
Yeah, man. Brunson got tagged in the first round. You know, he got dropped actually, but with his wrestling, he pretty much dominated Cooper. You know, was people were really like, I said great performance, great debut for Brunson, and people were like quote tweeting me like, what's great about it? It's like, guys, he's coming from the UFC. He's pretty much in the last stages of his career, you know, and he beats Cooper. You know, Cooper has been like, I think he's a 2-time PFL champion, not? Or at least one time, I think 2-time, yeah. So I mean that's a good win. Yeah, if you don't like the way he won, okay, I understand that, but this is still a good win. For I think Kayla Harrison had much more difficulties with Aspen Ladd than she expected, probably, but she won clearly, you know. So good for her, and yeah. Good wins, I think. And besides that, I only watched the Pinedo fight against.
I did check out that knockout. I mean, like we picked him. That was our consensus dog.
A little bit of early stoppage, but I mean,
I thought it was early, man. I got to be honest, especially for $1 million. Like you got to let those guys fight. Did his dad, Braga's dad, fight in like Pride or something? Is that, or where did he fight before? Do you know? Jungle fight maybe? Like, do you know where he fought? Braga.
No, I don't know.
I heard that he was an MMA veteran. I kind of found conflicting information about it. That's why I was asking you. But yeah, Pinedo, man.
Let me see.
Sorry.
What's that? Maybe it's Fontas Braga. You mean? Let me see. Yeah, is that the son of Ebenezer Fontas Braga?
I'm not.
He's
sure.
a former UFC and Pride fighter. I sent it to you in the chat so you can see which one I mean. Maybe you mean that guy. Let me see.
Is that it? Might be who it is. I had heard that he was a veteran. So if anyone knows for sure, throw it in the chat. But I know his dad. I
sent you via DM on Twitter.
Okay, let me just take a look here quickly. I'm still waiting for it, I guess. Oh, you sent it to the other one. Okay. Yeah. Let me see here. I don't know if it was this guy or someone. There's another guy too that it could be, but it might be. If anyone knows for sure, let me know. Because I saw, that's what I saw, that someone said that this was the guy, but then if you look, it's another guy. So I wasn't 100% sure. Regardless, Pinedo looked fucking amazing, and he's a guy that we picked as a dog, and a guy that got cut from the UFC way too fast, 1-1, and they cut him. I was surprised by that cut too. That was one I was like, you look good against that Dwight, what's his name, Devin Powell or something. And then McDessie beats him. McDessie's a really good striker. That's not a bad loss to have. And they cut him, and now he's looked great. So proving MMA Marcel really at the tights right now.
His father is Diego Braga Alves.
Yeah, it's someone else, right? That's the thing. So I saw conflicting information. By the way, so we got to talk about this. Mario Yamasaki. I literally did a double take when I saw this. I was like, wait, what? I can't believe they brought it back, Mario Yamasaki, man. Isn't that crazy?
Two Yamasakis, right?
And his brother is his brother, right? Fernando?
Yeah.
I think they're brothers. Yeah. And then also Kevin Mulhall. I haven't seen that ref in forever. The other guy? Yeah, Kevin Mulhall. Dude, when was the last time? I used to do Bellator all the time back in the day.
He's also in the UFC before, yeah.
Didn't he do Hendricks and was it not GSP and Hendricks, was it? Or
I'm not sure, man. Too long ago, man. He was
GSP
around.
GSP and Hardy. That was the fight in Montreal.
He was around when Kim Winslow and those kind of referees all
Kim Winslow. Imagine today's age with Twitter. Kim Winslow. I mean, man, I hated her. She was fucking terrible. She had really late stoppages. You talk about someone just getting their face caved in. She was an awful ref. I don't think she's even involved in the industry anymore. I feel like she got blacklisted.
I still remember when Joe Rogan was like, I do not like that stoppage, Kim Winslow, and you see Bobby Green. It's like, why is she stopping?
Was that the James Krause fight, or
I don't know. It was a Bobby Green fight. I don't know against who it was anymore.
Yeah, I can't remember either. And then the other thing was Douglas Crosby came back. He did the judging. I don't know if you saw that. It's his first time he judged since he did the Paddy Pimblett and Jared Gordon fight last year. So all these guys that were kind of blacklisted came back at this event. Kind of weird. I mean, I don't know why, but yeah. I guess Washington D.C. is a different place to sanction the fights. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Also, Michael Bell still hasn't judged a fight since that Grasso.
It's just stupid. Like he literally is like probably I think the best judge.
Yes. Yeah.
And he had a bad scorecard. You know, which sucks. It just sucked. It was in like such a high profile fight. If that was on a prelim, it wouldn't have mattered. But because it was a sketchy scorecard, man. It really was. Like the 10-8 just doesn't make sense in that fight at all. So. But again, he's being used as a scapegoat for bad judging. That's bullshit because this guy's actually a fucking good judge. It just sucks. It's like if just that you fuck up, Marcel, and like you report a fight that's not right, and then they throw you under the bus and they're like, this is like why the MMA media sucks when you've been one of the best guys for years. You know, hopefully that doesn't happen to you, by the way, but we'll see.
Yeah, you never know. But it's like with like
when Patty went after you. Remember last year when Patty went after you?
Remember? Yeah, it's already 2 years ago. Yeah,
2 years ago. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, man. Fucking idiot, but hey, whatever. I mean, Sal D'Amato and Chris Lee, they have always, like in almost every event, they have a bad scorecard, you know, and they still can judge. They even get flown internationally to certain countries to fucking judge fights. It's like, dude, there is Sal D'Amato again. He's again cage side. I'm like, why? You know, why you flew? You flew Adam and flew me in, you know what I mean? But we don't have the background. And apparently, if you want to be a judge, you have to have a certain background in combat fights, right? You have to have a certain. Sometimes I'm like, whatever, you know. It's like, and sometimes when you watch a fight, you're like, if you listen, man, I don't say MMA decisions is always right, you know, but I mean, if 14 scorecards have it for one fighter, you have that one judge who have it for the other fighter. You're not Albert Einstein, so I guess you're probably wrong, you know.
Excuse me, I agree. And then really quickly, the Bellagio Welsh guy gets another knockout. Just go to pro now, bro. Come on. Go Caracappa. I think we both picked him in Stern.
He says that in every PFL preview. On go to pro, dude.
Again, it's the professional fighters league. Why does this guy
agree.
get preferential treatment? Like I know it's because his grandfather was Muhammad Ali, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, come on. I mean, he's 6-1 now. It's time to go pro, brother. Like it really is. Just go pro. You know. And I get it, guys want to protect their records and stuff, but like at this point, I think he's ready for the pro circuit, you know, and they can start him off slow because the thing is, again, they have all these Bellator guys coming in. There's got to be some guy that sucks at Bellator they can match him up with Marcel. Come on, there's got to be something like that's really bad in the lightweight division. I don't know, someone that went like 1-3 in Bellator, bring him in and let him fight that guy. So we're gonna go to Austin now. Is there anything else you want to talk about with PFL? Before we switch over, because we're gonna open another podcast up. Joe's just better that way.
No, not really, man. I think it was an okay event. You know, it's and it's smart from the PFL to do it when the UFC doesn't have a card.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
it is.
I would have done it on Saturday, not on Friday, but hey, I understand.
I was gonna say, like, what was up with no MMA last night though? Because like I really wish there was a card last night, man. Like I just out of basically habit, like I stay home with Saturday nights and I watch UFC, and it wasn't like that last night. Obviously,
I think Johnny Walker and Ian Gary would have been happy if there was an MMA card last night. I mean,
oh boy, let's not even get back there because my God. All right, boys. Walsh and Butler. Yeah, like Jesse Butler. That guy's not good. That guy's not UFC caliber. Walsh. Bellator proves. Yeah, he does. All right. Let's finish up here, Marcel. Yeah. This, I guess we could mention this guy too. This David Benavidez is he's probably gonna be next for Canelo. Again, me and Marcel are not like the biggest boxing guys, but it's hard not to see it on Twitter. I know this guy won last night. I know he's very good. And he's going to be probably fighting Canelo next. I don't think we'll be seeing Canelo against Kamaru Usman next. That's for sure. Don't think. There we go. Tie in MMA. All right, let's finish the podcast up, guys. We appreciate you guys joining in. Just give me a few minutes. I'm going to set up the next podcast. We're going to do UFC Austin preview. We got 13 fights. I'm really looking forward to talking about that card. The last UFC Austin last year was incredible, so looking forward to this one as well. Just give me a few minutes, guys. I'll tweet out the link and we'll get going in just in a few minutes. Peace.